What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? So, I guess it's time for a new ramble video. A lot of people have been asking me to make one for the past few weeks, and I was just too lazy. I didn't have inspiration to make one really until I logged on today, and I'm just chilling, right? In my clan, World 385. I'm not in it right now, of course. And there's a conversation going on, so I'm like, alright, cool, interesting. So I put in my input, and I get no response. I'm like, alright, whatever, I guess people are more interested in something else. And then 10 minutes pass, and I get a message from HC Macaroni. Where is he at? Well, he's somewhere there, right? And he asked me if I have some wines left over from cooking. I'm like, nah, probably not. And then he just doesn't give me a response, so I'm like, that's weird too. And then another convo comes up in clan chat, so I'm like, alright, blah blah blah, and I still get no response. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I go on my flipping all, which is the one I use to free to play flip, and I go in clan chat, I type in on this account, and I see that nothing is popping up. So I'm like, holy shit, no fucking way. So I go to the RuneScape homepage, I log in, I go to account settings or whatever it is, right? And I go and I see a minor ban or minor mute. It says, like, you know how they have the bar with the colors. You can barely see the color of the bar. It's like very slight green. And I click on it and I see the start date was February 11th. I didn't play yesterday because I was like outside with friends and girlfriends, so I just didn't play as much or at all yesterday. I don't remember. But I logged on today and then I see expiry date February 11th. 2018. So, like, opposed to being mad, I was just fucking, like, dumbfounded in a way. So I'm like, no fucking way. I got banned for a year for something I said in the past few days. So I'm like, this better be something worth it. Like, this better be, if I'm muted for a year, I better have said some fucking ridiculous ass shit. So I'm like, alright, let me see what I said. And I'll link the image or album of what I said, like the whole conversation, in the description so you guys can follow along. And I read it and I'm so fucking like, I'm insanely shocked. I'm I'm still so, like, I'm a lot. I can't speak. It's ridiculous. I don't know, boys. It's fucking insane. I think it's more funny than it is sad, and then it's just really sad. I think whoever muted me was having a really fucking horrible day, and then when they see something like that, they're like, fuck this dude, don't call me not a skiller, and, you know, bang bang, mute for a year. Or they literally, like, accidentally muted me for 365 or 364 days too long. I don't know, something went weird there. I posted on World 385 and 2000 Escape subreddits. I truly don't think it's going to do anything. People who aren't, like, who are more so PVMers or, well, just not skillers, are very against the, I guess, skilling community. And it's weird. It's really weird because skiller community is really all for PVM updates, Slayer updates. But when it comes to skillers, they fucking despise them for some reason. So I know for a fact I wasn't going to get any support from the majority of the subreddit because the majority likes Slayer and PVM and they fucking hate skillers. I just did it for, you know, for people to see. Like, I'm a very big proponent. I just don't like staying quiet when I know something unjust happened. And people in CC know that with the post I wrote on World 385 sub with Steph and Part, and that got a lot of exposure, and that's why they don't fuck with people anymore. You know, like, little things do a lot of help. So I thought, you know, I'd make this post as well, even though I truly don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, the mute's ridiculous, dude. Like, to get, like, I would be surprised if I got a day ban, day mute, to be honest. But I'd accept it because it's a day. But a year-long ban? Mute? That's ridiculous, man. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a year-long mute for a very long time, and if they have, it had to be for, like, the worst fucking thing you could possibly think. Like, let's say we have, like, a little challenge, right? Like, hashtag get mute 1 year challenge or whatever, right? It would take, like, at least 20 people to try and like literally try to get 1 year muted. It's a very difficult task. It's not just something you say like fuck this, fuck that. Like you have to be really, really abusive and offensive. And I think if I could do it so freely, that's ridiculous, man. And from what I said, I don't know, but that's. I mean, I'm not I'm not upset at this at all. Truly, I think it's really. First of all, like I said, it's really ridiculous, and then it just goes on to being sad because like it makes me wonder about all the people, like those submissions you get on the subreddit where people are like falsely muted or falsely banned, whatever, and then people are like fuck you, yeah, you always blame Jagex, you think you're fucking blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like we always take Jagex aside, where in reality like there are those few cases where the person was actually not lying, and I was on the other fence where I was like, well, I didn't say anything, but in my head I was like, yeah dude, there's a reason you got banned, there's a reason you got muted. Well, I'm now on that side where I'm like, what the fuck? This actually happens to people? Like, innocent people get muted for, like, this big? Again, I'm not saying, like, I was a saint. Like, I didn't get muted for saying, I fucking love Jagex, man. Fuck me. I did, like make fun of them, but I didn't say anything offensive. Like, if there's no way the creators of such a cancer and toxic game got offended by what I said. They're already very used to the comments, and they're already part of the subculture that RuneScape players have created. It is who RuneScape is. Everyone knows it to be that way. That's what the community is. However, I think it's really funny that I got a year-long mute. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, a year-long mute is not that bad because there's a lot of times where I just want to play on private off, right? But then people are going to be like people might be suspicious of it or whatever. And it's not like I'm pulling 70 AHP weeks where people are like, what the fuck, why you have such a great week and I never saw you on. But at the same time, it's like I don't want people thinking that I'm never on and I'm getting hours, or like I see people walk by me and I have public off. Like it's just not a nice feeling to have where people might think you're botting or whatever. Like I don't think anyone thinks people bot nowadays, like in the higher level community, I guess. I don't know, but I think it's not that bad for a year-long mute. It sucks because there's a lot of fucking great people in clan chat and friends that I'd love to talk to, and now I have to go on an alt just to speak to them. That's so embarrassing. Like, on Jagex side, the fact that they muted me for that shows, like, how easily offended they can get. I really hope, like, for their sake that was a mistake. Like, maybe they meant a week, but a year for that? That's ridiculous, man. Whatever. Hopefully it gets fixed. If not, I mean, life goes on, right? I guess more XP gains to me. No typing. Let's see. So, I guess I could start the ramble as I was going to, like, in a few weeks. However, this happened, so I had to talk about that first. So a lot of things have happened, one of them being AHK ban, which is the whole reason for this. However, there's a little insider joke with the World 385 subreddit that I always mention AHK, and that's not the case. I only bring it up now when I see someone else bring it up, and a lot of times people specifically ask me, like they're like, at wide, what do you think of this? And I reply to them, and then people are like, oh my god, why is it getting at it with AHK? Like, dude, relax. It's a very big component of skilling. That's a very big issue, and it's still going to be going on. However, it's not like I fucking bring it up every morning. But whatever, someone asked me something, and that's how that conversation came up with the mute. But yeah, basically what happened was AHK got banned, so they said that it's a third party, and third-party software that they don't want you to be using. And so they banned it completely. Which is the reason why I don't like what they did, is because they did it out of nowhere with no poll, with no warning. They just came out with it, Meanwhile, they're fucking pulling the most ridiculous things, like whatever. Like, you guys know what they pull. They pull the most the most obscure and like meta things that do not affect anyone at all. Like things you find on the subreddit, people making jokes of, and then you see being pulled on. I don't know, man, like, whatever, like, I'm never against it, a poll's a poll. The fact that they didn't pull something as big as this is what's ridiculous. So, I don't know, man. I think what they did was very wrong. And what's funny is they're banning AHK, right? They're banning AHK. However, let's say you set up your AHK to simulate Windows mouse keys the exact same way. How in the world will they find out or be able to distinguish the difference? There's absolutely no way they would. And therefore, you have people using AHK for comfort to remap their keys, and people are still using it. It's like, well, that's one thing. Like, it just they came out with it, and what Mod Matt K was saying, like on his what was his stream, his podcast, whatever the fuck he has. Look, nothing against the dude, man. I have no reason to be mad or angry at any of these J mods. Had it not been for them, I would not be playing or AFKing right now, right? Like, it's great that they're helping build this game, and they're the reason we're playing this game. So I'm not hating on them. However, that does not mean I have to agree with every little thing they do, and this is by far the stupidest thing they have ever done. And that's simply my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I think if you're a civil human being, you can just see my way the same way I can see your way. You don't have to agree with it, like I said. So, that's my view. I just think it's very wrong that they came out with it for, like, I understand those runecraft, the double runecraft nature alts that they have that like goes, like you have what's it called, like the bank screen right here, right? And then they do the stamina potion, and then click down for the runes, and then they go bang bang for the pouches, and then they have an HK that literally shoots them up like diagonally a good 100 pixels this way, and then bang bang, and another HK that like shoots them back down to the pouches, and another HK that shoots them to the mini map, and boom, they click, and they can do that in 2 seconds. Now, personally, I don't think that should be illegal, or I don't think that should be bannable at the time, because it was a gray area, and people did say 1-to-1, meaning that is a 1-to-1, to be honest, because it's moving in one direction and it's giving you one output. It's not like you're clicking a keyboard or a key and it's like moving here and clicking for you. It's just moving. But I would understand why people think that's ridiculous, where you can one-tick Karam ones, where like you, let's say, put a Karam one, right? Like, let's say this Karam one, and here's a fire, and then, or like, let's say this is a fire, and they would do this, basically, click fire here. Well, I don't know if I'm sure you guys know what it is, but basically, like, they can do Karam one, fire, or cook. Karam one, fire, cook. Karam one, fire, cook. And they go to bam, 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 really quickly, and like insane XP. I think that's also, legal back then, because it was a gray area on what you're not allowed to do. However, now since they banned HK, and that's completely trackable, and if you did get banned by that, I think you're just asking to get banned. And I'm sure a lot of you know who I'm talking about. He was like the first few days, he like posted a video, he's like, ban the idiots, and he got banned for 2 weeks. See, he got banned for 2. I'd rather be banned for a day than muted for a year, to be fucking honest. Whatever though. Yeah, so he got banned, but I think regular AHK that's like exactly copies Windows mouse keys should not be considered bannable, and that's the reason why I think you will not be banned if you use it, because they can't distinguish it. Do I use AHK? I have no reason to for a very long time. I'm not gonna be using AHK for probably until June, since I'm doing combats during my semester for a very long time. However, I might be doing something during spring break for a week. I'll talk about that later if I remember. Let me write that down. Yeah. Okay. So last thing about HK, another thing that I don't like is the people who are really against it, and it doesn't affect them. It's like these people who, like, I understand a lot of top level, well, not top level, just a lot of people who are skillers, a lot of people who go for 200 mils, a lot of people who find enjoyment in going past 99s. Basically, they're considered skillers in my eyes, people who thrive to get XP. So those people sometimes trash those new players, or I guess you could say noobs, who have like sub 200 EHP or whatever. And I can definitely see why people would see this and be like, fuck, man, these skillers are dickheads. And trust me, it's not a lot. It's very few people. Like, I'm not going to name names, but you all know who I'm thinking about when I say these things. Like, that's how bad that person is. But that's that's not like the majority of skillers. You know, majority of skillers are actually very, very helpful. And if you're a really good skiller, right, you'd want the game to flourish with more skillers so there's more competition. And that would only encourage you to help other players get better. So skilling community is very, very helpful. There's a few really bad seeds in there. But that's just like a little side note to those who are watching who don't care about skilling and like fucking hate skillers. And if you hate skillers, I don't know why you're watching this, to be honest, but if you enjoy it, then welcome. Anyway, back to that. So there are a lot of players who've never used AHK, and they're always quiet about AHK, right? Like they would never be like, fuck AHK, like 6 months ago, right? They would never say that. But now that AHK got banned, they like come out of the closet and they're like, yeah, fuck these cheaters, man. They're a bunch of AHK using robot macroing pussy boys. It's the funniest thing because I didn't even have to look them up to know that they're a brand new account. And it's like, dude, why are you trolling? Why are you raging? It doesn't affect you. And the analogy I gave once in the CC is like, pretend you're a kid, or pretend you're fucking you, right? Since we're all kids that would play this game. Just kidding, we're not all kids, right? 55-year-olds who play this game. So you get like a candy. A guy comes to you, not a guy, a beautiful, sexy lady comes to you and she's like, hey, cutie patootie, I like your 9 prayer. Do you want the candy? And I'm like, nah, sweet thing, I don't want a candy. And she's like, I bet. And then she goes to the next dude who has like 87 prayer, right, or whatever. And then she's like, yo, 87 pray, you're cute too. You want a candy? And then he's like, yeah, damn, I want a candy for sure. And then you, the 9 prayer dude, you look at him and he's like, yo, what the fuck? Why'd you give him a candy? I didn't want the candy, but that doesn't mean someone else could have it. And that's the same thing with AHK Windows mouse keys. People cry that Windows mouse keys and AHK is cheating, which by the way it's not. And the moment someone says it's cheating or it's like botting, I know for a fact they've never ever even attempted to use it. Otherwise, they'd know that AHK and Windows mouse keys is a lot more than just clicking a button. It's all about timing and practice, and it takes like tens to hundreds of hours to master it correctly. But that's besides the point. So the people who are against it are they're just lazy, you know? The reason why I'm saying this is because you had the option to take the candy, but you said no, you didn't, and that's totally fine. But now you're being selfish. You're being jealous that someone else got the candy, even though you didn't want it. That same way goes with AHK. You had the option to use AHK back then, and Windows mouse keys. Windows mouse keys been out for literally over 10 years now. I'm pretty sure I used Windows mouse keys back then, and I was like fucking what? Well, not 10 years ago, but I'm sure I used mouse keys when I was like 13 or 14 or something. You know, like it's been out for a very long time, and all of a sudden you're crying that people are using Windows mouse keys. So like a couple things come up. One, why are you against it when you could be using it? Right, it's because you're lazy and you don't want to, and that's totally fine. But don't hate the other people who are willing to put in way more actions per minute than you are. You know, there are people who fish and then literally manually drop one by one by one by one. That's totally fine. All to you, you know? And there are people who literally just bang, 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 drop, 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 and the whole thing, and they're back to fishing. Like, it's not like I click one button, the whole thing is dropped and I fish. It takes time too, and it takes a lot of timing. It's not just one button click. It's not like a bot. So that's one thing. Second thing is, these people who do not use AHK or Windows mouse keys, there's no way that they are considered competitive in the high scores. Maybe in free-to-play there's 1 or 2 people who are top EHP and don't use AHK. But the reason why that still counts because free-to-play has like a very small population. So there could be a few outliers where, like, let's say mid-level skill, like he has really fucking high EHP, but he doesn't use AHK, right? For fishing or for woodcutting. It's totally cool. I respect that completely. That's totally fucking cool. And the fact that he went so many EHP with it, I respect it even more. That's great. Good for you, man. However, if he were to use AHK Windows mouse keys, he would be at a much higher EHP, but he knows that and he doesn't want to do it, and that's totally fine. Now, people who are not main level skilla, the majority of people who don't use Windows mouse keys and AHK, there's no way they can like try to be competitive with ranks if they're going at such a low XP per hour rate. So there's no reason for you to want to even like cry about people being efficient. You're not even at that level, or nor do you intend on being. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you're a shit player. It's not what I'm saying at all. You know, you choose not to want to do it, and again, that's fine. But don't be selfish and say, oh, just because I don't use it, I don't want others to use it. That's ridiculous, man. And that's my whole premise with it. There's so many people who I see them in CC like once a week or whatever, and they literally log on like once every few days, play for an hour, 2 hours, and they leave. That's totally fine. But don't log in, right, and be like, yeah, AHK users are cheaters, they should be banned, and think your opinion is valid anyway. It's not. Like, you can say your opinion. I'm not saying you're you're a fucking idiot, don't tell me anything. I'm just saying, like, don't think your opinion holds any merit. It doesn't. You have no idea what you're talking about. Same thing goes with ModMattK. He's not a skiller, nor is any JMod. They have no experience in skilling, dude. Tell me how many accounts they have, and how many 99s they have in skills. They're not skillers. And they act like, I don't know if they act like they are, but they talk so highly of it. And the things ModMattK was saying was so ridiculous. Like, and you knew straight off the bat, this dude was either reading it off the script or just fucking, it's like his boss is like, all right, Matt K, you have 10 minutes, find out what you can about AHK, let's go, come on, showtime. And he's like, all right, boss. And then he did it, you know? Like, come on, dudes. At least put some thought into it. They know how serious the skilling community is, and when you do something like that, it's gonna bring it's gonna bring out an outraise. But that's that. And the last thing, they come out with shift drop, and then I look at polls, and obviously 90% of shift drop is like, yes, we want shift drop, yeah. That's so fucking funny, because I know for a fact the majority of people did not want AHK, but they want shift drop. What the hell does that prove to us? That they were just too darn lazy to go download AHK, which takes literally 15 seconds, put in a script, which takes another 15 seconds, and put in a couple of hours doing a skill to get down that rhythm. They were too lazy, and now that they have it, they don't have to spend 30 seconds searching an HK guide online. They have it. You know, it's so hypocritical. These people who 90% voted yes for shift dropping are also the people who are like, HK's cheating, fuck HK users, blah blah blah. That's the ridiculousness in all this. Yeah, man, I've had so much to talk about with this. That's the majority. I mean, I can always like keep talking about it, but I'd be reiterating the same things over and over, really. I think that's a pretty good general guideline of how I'm thinking about it. Again, last time, disclaimer, fuck off. I'm just saying, I'm not against people who don't use AHK. I'm not. But I think that if you don't use AHK, you should be respectful for the people who want to use AHK, because you have the same option as they do. But that's basically it for AHK. I mean, it's over, it's done. It's an interesting topic to talk about. It's definitely something to talk about. It's not something that should be ignored, and that's why I talked about it. But that's that. Alright, and the mute. Oh man, fucking mute. And you know what's crazy? They don't tell you that you're muted. Oh wait, is it the filter? Let me see. No, you see, they don't tell you you're muted, dudes. And I was like talking for like 20 minutes and fucking no one. Whatever. Alright, since I'm done with that, I'll talk about my account. Alright, so 99 combat, 1 level away. Also, 20k away from 95 strength. Still 80 attack, 80 defense, 70 range, 9 prayer. Prayer not touching for a while. 86 mage, not bad. This should get me to 87 at least. Hopefully I'll get to like 91, 92-ish from 89 strength, attack, defense. So here's basically the little goal, right? I set my goal to be 99 strength by February 28th. And I should be able to do it by then. And then 99 attack. And then maybe 99 defense by June. So these three should be 99 if that's how it goes. I don't like being too accurate with my planning, like 4 or 5 months ahead. I just like making general guideline on it, you know, so I can follow it in some sort of way. It's not like I'm leaving this little tile for any time soon. However, that's the first thing I'm getting, 99 strength, and then attack. And then if I get 99 attack, then we'll talk from there, but generally I'm going for defense right after attack. Range, it's going to be after defense, but not anytime soon in my opinion. Prayer, not going to be touching that for a while. Magic, like I said, I'll just keep alching as much as I can. Runecraft, not touching that. Hit points, okay. Mining. Mining, I want to do smithing and mining in the summer. Now, here's a big problem. There's a couple of YouTubers who've been releasing a lot of free-to-play flipping videos that brought exposure to a lot of items that people did not know about, and those items, A, dropped a lot in price, and B, the margins got really fucking small and very unworth doing. So, I'm trying my best to flip. The past 3 weeks, I've probably made like 3 mil. Some because like I'm just not logging on anymore to flip something that's 10 to 15 mil to get like 50k to 100k margin. Like that's fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. It's not worth it. So change the plans. My money making adventures. I'm gonna have to be going for at least 100 mil smithing with 3 bar smithing, right? So with 100 mil, that's like what, 84 mil XP. Hopefully, if I make about 5 to 6 GP per XP with that 84 mil, I'll make at least 400 mil profit. And 400 mil profit plus my 93 mil, whatever I have, will be more than enough to get 99 prayer and runecraft. I don't know about crafting. I do want to do crafting with emeralds. I might not. I might do diamond ambulance with an alt running to me, or just might do diamond ambulance with Falador teleport solo. We'll see. This is not going to be touched for a while, unfortunately, but these are just tentative plans that I'm thinking about for long term. However, in the summer, I do want to do a lot of mining and then smithing, and just alternate between these two. And of course, it's all tentative to change. Everything I'm saying that's past March 31st is subject to change. It just depends on, like I said in a few rambles ago, everything is very short term. You don't know how it goes. It all depends on prices and updates and stuff like that. Like let's say I was going for 99 woodcut, I might have changed my plans because I didn't want to go switch to Windows mouse keys when AHK is banned. However, you know, if that was really my case, I would switch to Windows mouse keys. It's not that big of a change. It's whatever. But that's not the case. And yes, I did leave it to 93. I just didn't have time. Semester started, so I stopped at 93 and went to strength. Smithing and mining, like I said, that's the summer goal. Hopefully I can get fund Prey and Runecraft with this through the summer, and hopefully I can get some nice levels in the summer. 99 fish, cook, fire making, woodcut, not touching that, unfortunately. It'd be nice to get this 99, right? And then maybe potentially get this 99 in the summer, so it'd be like a whole line of 99s. And then by then I'd have strength, attack, defense, and maybe hit points also 99. So I'd be like really fucking close to maxing, even though I'm so far from it because of these two. Anyway, spring break. There she is. So my spring break. Oh, 1 sec. I just fucking went to desktop mode. Okay. So spring break, right? I'm basically going to be. I was thinking about it, and this isn't smart, and I'm very. I don't know, as a person who's been taught as a young age to think many steps ahead, because I was taught to play chess since a very young age, and chess is all about thinking many steps ahead. It would not be smart to do what I'm about to tell you, but my heart really wants to. So I want to spend about 22 mil to get and finish 100 mil cooking. Now, of course, this will be done in wines, this will be done during spring break, and I could definitely do it in a week. However, I'd be losing about 22 to 25 mil GP, and that's a problem because right now I'm at 93 mil. If I lose 22 mil, I'd be roughly around 70 mil GP. Now, that's not a bad amount still, right? For a free-to-play who doesn't use pay-to-play alts, that's great. However, my summer goals, you have to think back, and you have to understand that I need a lot of capital investment to buy a good chunk of Runa bars. Now you're thinking 70 mil is more than enough to buy at least 3,000 Runa bars at a time, and you're right. However, that's really a small amount of Runa bars. That's only 1k of Rune 2H's or whatever you could make, and that's really slow. But that's besides the point. And then, like, the main point is, I want to be selling to shoppers. And the reason why I want to sell to shoppers is because they buy your items for a much higher cost than you would get for selling it at GE. So you'd be making a lot more profit. Now the problem with this is most shoppers want 1,000 sets, meaning they want 1,000 2Hs, skirts, and legs. That means you need 9,000 rune bars to make or to buy, so you can make those 3,000 rune items. And to have 9,000 rune bars, off the top of my head, I think it's around 110, 115 mil. And I'm not too far away from that, right? I'm 93 mil. I need about, 22 mil more? Obviously, I won't be getting that by April because flipping is garbage. If flipping was great, I would not even be thinking about. I would straight away go for 100 mil cook without a doubt. But flipping is really shit, so I have to think about smithing. So I was thinking of, like I said, just spending 22 mil for 100 mil cook during spring break and getting like a good amount of 40 to 50 EHP in that time. However, it just wouldn't be smart because it would set me very low for smithing in the summer. So I was thinking in the summer or in the spring break where I can actually be active and have many actions per minute, I can smith in that week and try to build up my bank as much as possible. So when the summer comes, I can smith all the way to whatever I need to fund craft and runecraft, and on top of that, fund 100 mil cook if I still want to. I never really wanted to finish off cooking after I came back from the burnout. Like, I fucking hated standing that one tile and literally just click on the jug of water to the grapes, click all option, wait 8 seconds, bank, repeat, and literally do that for hours on end. It's mind numbing. I'd much rather do something that requires movement, like rune crafting or fire make. I can't wait till one day I can start post fire making. Fire making smithing, I fucking admire. I can't wait till I can go for 200 mils for those. But the main thing is I can't go for 200 mil fire making because I have a much bigger goal in mind, which is maxing out. However, I can go for 200 mil smithing because I'd be making bank to fund runecraft and prayer, and maybe crafting with gems if I make a good amount of profit. Maybe. So, it's still tentative, but I think I'm gonna be smithing during spring break. Try to make a good amount of cash. Now, it's not, I don't know, I still really want to go for 100 mil cook with wines, of course, but I don't want to lose 21 mil. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to smith. I think that's a smarter choice. I shouldn't let my, emotions get ahead of me, and I should just use my brain and think that if I do get 100 mil cook, it's going to be a cool little milestone, but it's not going to give me anything in long term besides maybe one day maxing out 200 mil. And I'm not going to be maxing out cook for a very long time because I just don't want to. I really want to max out before I do 200 mil anything. I mean, if I get it for smithing, that's fine, but I doubt I'll do that. I'll probably just stop at 100 mil or something. I just need the money for prayer and cooking, prayer and runecraft. I think prayer is about 250 mil and runecraft is around 150 mil. I'm not too sure, but altogether it's around 400 mil, roughly. And I'm at 93 mil right now, so I would need about 307 mil. I can get 307 mil. Let's say I get 5 GP per XP from smithing 3 rune bars. I would need 60 mil XP. So at 76 mil smith XP, I will have just enough to fund prayer and runecraft. Not enough to fund crafting or 99 range with addies or the high alks for 99 mage. But you know, that's very minor cash compared to needing 400-ish mil. So that's the goals. Wow. And I talked quite a lot. Yeah, a lot of you were asking for a ramble. And I fucking love every one of you who just really like my videos. I truly never thought, I'm acting like I'm a fucking YouTube celery. Does anyone get that reference? Like, instead of celebrity, alright, forget it. If you do, please let me know. That's whatever. I'm sounding so stupid right now. Yeah, I'm acting like I'm a big shit. I'm not. I have like 31 subs or something. But I do appreciate that people like this type of content. It gives me, I like it because I'm pretty sure in some way or another I'd motivate a few players to want to make videos themselves. And that was the whole point of me making this account. Well, one point is so I can document this once I am max and like just look back and fucking see all these videos and milestones and just be like, damn, that's a cool ass journey. But another is also to encourage free-to-play players to make content, man. Whoever's watching this and you're like pretty dedicated with your account, make videos, dude. I promise you'll get support from a very big majority of free-to-play. We're very friendly people for the most part. I think free-to-play is all about banter, but come on, like, who isn't? But when it comes to it, we're very respectful towards people trying to make the free-to-play community a better place. Now, if you're an outright dick, we'll call you out on it and we'll fucking blacklist you permanently. Like, you know who, son? Get burnt, idiot. But besides that, really, I don't know what to say, man. The mute. The fucking mute. Fucking mute, man. Jesus Christ, dudes. Oh, fuck, man. It's so ridiculous, dudes. I don't know. Hey, look. Nothing. 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 Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll talk to you guys in a year or something, right? And that's it. Hope you guys enjoy the ramble. I'm actually behind on progress videos. I'm just so fucking lazy. The reason why is because I don't like to upload too many videos on the same day or like in a row of each other. I like it to be a few days in between, or at least a few days in between. But I like it when it's a week or 2 weeks, or like this one is like a month or so, and I love that because it gets people anticipating some pretty good rambles. You know, like if I made a ramble a week after I made my previous ramble, it'd be okay, but it wouldn't be as juicy as this one, right? There's a lot of fucking stuff we talked about. I think this is a really productive one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys use these to scale and just keep entertained. Again, if you're watching this and you're a free-to-play player and you're a pretty dedicated and motivated player, you don't have to be like a top player or what, like no one's a top player, you know, like what the fuck's a top player? Just if you're a dedicated player, make videos, man. I promise you, they don't have to be amazing. They could be shit. Just make them. We'll watch them. Like, they could be fucking ass. They could be recorded with a potato. They could have a mic as worse as mine. You know, it doesn't matter. We'll support it. And you might actually like it a lot. So that's it. Hope you guys really enjoy this. Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't know, guys. See you next one. Bye.